Hello, Glitch Reaper here, and I'm back for another mod review. In this case, it is Thaumic Potatoes 2. It is time to bring back thaumaturgy using potatoes. Yeah, that's totally a thing, and I actually kind of like it. It's actually interesting and fun, and I still don't know what's up with those Z's popping out of my head. I don't think that's from this mod. I think that's from something else. Uh, I totally don't know what's up with those Z's. But anyhow, this is about Thaumic Potatoes 2. It's a mod about a path of thaumaturgy using the power of magical potatoes. And they will allow you to do some nifty magical stuff, and it has a progression system, oddly enough. Well, kinda. I don't know if you can actually skip over it, or if it's just that it's good to be guided that way. But it does have one, and you can kind of see where I've separated out a few groups of things, going from the very first age of Pataturgy, all the way to the third age of Potatomancy over there. So, yes, I do have that, and in case you're wondering, I decided to go all out with the potato color theme this mod has. Yellow bed, for something I was testing. Apparently something that still wasn't entirely sufficient for what I was hoping to. Anyhow, I also have these special bricks. They're known as potato bricks, and yes, they are found in the mod, and yes, you can make them. They're potatoes around clay. In fact, the very first chapter will kind of allude you to a place you can go to find these things in your world as a kind of a side effect of how this mod works. And you can see one of the buildings right behind me over there. I was actually doing another mod review, and I literally ran into that building afterwards whenever I was just trying to escape a situation I got myself into. Anyhow, the thing is that, as you can see, they do generate in your world with this type of block, and it's, I guess you could use it for decent building material, but that's not the only thing. This is something that generates in your world. Now, the first thing you gotta know is this mod centers around regular potatoes, but also these very special Thaumic potatoes. And yes, they have that symbol on them somehow. Now, to get Thaumic potatoes, you will need to do a little diving for them. Oh, by the way, about my armored look that I have here, I found out that you can get this color, which is pretty close to the mod's potato color, by just using dandelion yellow and cocoa beans as your dye for your leather armor. So, yeah, I just decided to go for customization a bit here, a little all out for potatoes. Now, I have to put myself in game mode S for this, because I need to demonstrate getting these, well, dug up. Now, the thing is that, as you can see, I do have, just readjusting again, what the... Okay, I think that should be fine. I'm getting an echo. Echo. Okay, I'm good, I think. I'll go with it. Anyhow, you do have a special pickaxe, and I'll go into that a little bit later, but first I want to dig up this very particular ore. It is Petrified Potato ore. As the first book will tell you, you have to go down into the world and look for special potatoes that have been petrified from previous times. And you will receive these poor blackened potatoes. But that's okay. These petrified potatoes can be saved and brought to magicalness. What is with my adjustment today? Okay, I hope that wasn't bad on my audio. What is going on here? I really hope I'm not having that problem again. I will redo this whole thing if I have to. But anyhow, what you use these with is you cook them up into the Thaumic potatoes. And this is where you unlock a lot of other things. Like, to get your very first book here, and let me go back into mode C here, so I can show off the various ranks of the book. This is the very first volume of the Potatonomicon, and as you can see, it's just a book with a potato. But each one kind of hints towards the next thing you have to do, I believe. And to get the second volume, which is the one over here, and where you start actually getting useful stuff, you have to have one of the Thaumic potatoes and a bit of ravioli. Now, what's interesting is it kind of hints the next step as to what you're going to be getting and what's going to be featured in the book with the previous. So, in this case, if you look forward and see that you need to have this book, you'll see you get some nice food items here. And did I double up on the potato? I think I doubled up on the potato. Oh well. Ignore that. Yeah, ignore that. I'll just switch that around. No, I don't have the other thing. Never mind. But anyhow, just imagine that's there. But yeah, you will get a lot of really good stuff starting in your second chapter, and this goes with well, a good portion of the mod is in the second chapter. Let's put it that way. But whenever you go into the book, you'll see that you have oops. Defaulted. But the very first book is basically this stuff here, and that's like your first chapter of how the story is starting up and how you're leading up to resurrecting Thaumcraft, or not Thaumcraft, but Thaumaturgy in general. Sorry, this isn't Thaumcraft. This used to be an add-on. Now it's its own thing. Apparently somebody got tired of not being able to thaum a potato. But anyhow, this part is your clue about these guys, the special villagers that really love potatoes, and where you're going to be finding plenty of this brick. And not to mention some other important stuff later. But various things lead in. So here in the second chapter, you also get additional sections. Before, it's all in the first book is basically all that's in here. Just a moment. Okay, I'm back. But as I was saying, yeah, the first book is basically just this whole section here, so once you get the second one, you don't really need the first anymore. And this is kind of an ongoing thing, because the third book has all this in the second, and you get the idea. But yeah, you get to create some various things here, like it's telling you how to do various recipes involving potatoes for new foods. So you have potato soup, which is seeds, baked potato, and milk. You have... just a moment. There we go. You have ravioli, and this is where you get that potato stuff going on. And yes, it is potato. I'm not mispronouncing it. It is potato, not potato, potato, because it's made from potato to make a dough. There you go. But you actually need this for various things in the culinary and other potato thaumic arts. And one of the things is you can make the ravioli with it, which is a decent food, and you fill your potato with any cooked meat. Pretty much, although I seem to not be seeing cooked salmon showing up here. Any cooked salmon? And, where's the mutton? There it is. But, okay, it seems to be missing the salmon. Oh, okay. But anyhow, you get a nice meat-filled potatoy goodness. You also have the ability to make vodka. Yeah. There's this mod may make you a little bit tipsy. It needs a glass pane, potato, and sugar to make that. And you also get French fries. Yeah, which are totally not made from France. That's something that is definitely an American thing that has a foreign name. I don't know why. I really do want to look up the history on that as to why they ever called it French fries. But it's just seeds, a baked potato, and paper. As I said, a lot of this mod goes around regular potatoes, but certain very particular things need these special thaumic ones. And this is where we get into that. Because, as you can see, there's a lot of craftable items over here past the food section. And you may note that it relies on this special ingot over here that looks a bit like what would happen if you squashed a hot potato into an ingot form and kept it hot. It's more than that. It is more than that, trust me. But, yeah, to be able to do that, you need to... Yep, you're making metals and potatoes meat. You need potato, one of the Thaumic potatoes for each of these, mind you, an iron ingot, and a gold ingot each. So this stuff is semi-expensive-ish, but it has special benefits. Namely, you can make various things out of it, including tools. Now, these are usually a bit better off. They got good durability and enchantability overall. So they last a long time, and I think they count as iron for the purpose of what they can tear through. I don't think it goes all the way up to diamond level, but I'll have to check. But anyhow, You need potato alloy and sticks to make the pickaxe, as you'd expect. And of course the spade axe or axe spade. It's more the axe spade. It actually acts as an axe and as a shovel, so you can dig dirt and chop trees with it. Very handy. You have the hoe. It's just a hoe. Have fun with the hoe. Not all mods seem to remember the hoe when it comes to equipment. Don't ask why. An interesting little note is that you can also turn regular potatoes into poisonous potatoes by either using rotten flesh or spider's eyes. So that's kind of an extra thing that you can do here. But that's not all. Now, each of these special tools that can be made with the potato alloy can be turned into mashed potatoes. Yes, that's a food made from your used tools. So if you're desperate or you are about to break the tool and have no way of repairing it at the time, that's what you can do with it. You can turn it into mashed potatoes. So you literally mash up your tool into mashed potatoes. Why don't you just grind regular potatoes? I don't know, but there it is. Now, you also have weaponry. Yeah. Now, I really should have put that over there. You'll probably want a weapon before you get to the other crafty stuff. But then again, you might want this bag because I'm using it. Yeah, it's basically like a backpack or a portable chest, or for that matter, a shulker box. Only, of course, in this case, it's used from the inventory, unlike a shulker box. But more like backpacks are in most mods. So, yeah, in fact, I'll throw a few petrified potatoes over there. But the thing is, this isn't entirely cheap, but it's not entirely expensive either. It's kind of a moderate cost, so I'd say it's pretty balanced. You need 2 potato alloys, 2 Thaumic potatoes, and any color wool. They do have to be all the same color, but it can be any color. And you always get the same bag, so that's how the bag works. It is nice to include said bag, so yeah. Now, on to the additional thing. Oh, wait. Wrong book. I was trying to go by chapter. Oops. Silly me. But, yeah. After you have that, there's also a little section here called Bloodlust, and that's about combat. You have the ability to make a special weapon known as a potato cleaver. Yes, it does have 20 attack damage. It takes 4 Thaumic potatoes, a couple of the alloys, which, again, those also require a Thaumic potato each, so that's 6 overall of those, plus other ingredients. A couple of diamonds and an iron sword. Now, this has durability, but its upgrade does not. Its upgraded form is the frozen potato cleaver, and it requires packed ice, 2 diamond swords, 3 potato cleavers, and might add, this is to get something with only twice the damage, so consider that, but it does make one serious blow. And you can imagine with Sweeping Edge, it's a lot of collateral damage. Again, this is in 1.12. Remember, I usually leave that up there for that reason, in case anybody asks what version I'm in. And I also need something else. This also clues you off to the next chapter. It's the Carbonator. You'll need these. And it's a form of food. So let's pop back here. And that comes in with this, Sins of the Father, which is basically a statement of the loss of Asinor. But yeah. And it'll tell you ways of making these special items which allow you to face bosses. Again, note the Carbonator. It's not specifically spelled out in this chapter as to how you make it, but it is there, and you can always look it up in any eye. Now, you will need ravioli for one, and vodka for the other, but the other ingredients remain the same. It's 3 of the Carbonator, 4 poisonous potatoes, again, remember, poisoning potatoes earlier? That comes in handy just for making these. And an Eye of Ender. Now, the the Carbonators themselves are quite an extensive recipe, in a way. I mean, for a food item, this is kind of ridiculous. It's definitely more extensive than making a cake. You need 4 ravioli, 2 bread, a couple of baked potatoes, and a potato, which, again, remember, is all that. Of course, you do get 2 of them each time, so it's not that big of a deal. But other than being a very incredible food item, this allows you to create these boss spawners. Yes, I said boss spawners. And this is where things get ridiculous. So, I'm going to grab one of these, and I'm going to grab one of these, and we're going to get ridiculously dangerous very fast. But before I find an area to deploy these bosses, I'm just going to make a very brief turn over here and see if I can find the man of the manor over here, and this church that worships the power of the potato. Yet, yes, that's apparently a variant of testificate religion around here now. Are you there? Dude, I can't find you. Dude, I can't find you. Dude. Where'd he go? He's around here somewhere. He's not hard to find. He has a very particular look. Did something kill him? I mean, that can happen. He is like a normal villager. Of course, I can just correct this situation if he's gone. It's called, I do believe, the spawn egg works. I think there's a separate spawn egg for him anyhow. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me just replace him in here. Okay. Potato, potato, potato. I think it goes into modded right afterwards. It's been a while. Okay. Nope, those are special. There are alternate ways to spawn the bosses, just saying. But I don't think you need to worry about that. Oh, come on. Where are you, potato fanatic? No potato fanatic spawn eggs specifically. I mean, it shows it in the book what they look like, but I don't know where the guy went. He was in here. He was. I saw him earlier. I think he may have been a victim of an attack or just gone astray. Or no, there he is. I found him. This is the thing about villagers actually villaging. They go through doors. Okay, in that case, I will very quickly get myself some torches and help this guy light this place up, just so he doesn't get killed later. Okay. There, now you've got some nice support, Mr. Potato Enthusiast. As you can see, they love potatoes and will make deals with potatoes, including Thaumic Potatoes for emeralds, poisonous potatoes for emeralds, which is a very interesting deal. I mean, gosh, that's a deal. I mean, a lot of people don't even like the poisonous potatoes, and this guy's willing to give you emeralds for them. Oh, I thought I'd make it through that door. Okay, answer is no. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to remember, did I find a separate area with another, evil cathedral? It's not from this mod, it's from another one that I recently did. And I'm looking for a structure because I'm wondering if I can do a little a demonstration around it. Well, okay. I'll set the bosses somewhere else because I don't want them to cause too much collateral damage. There's at least one that really will, like, seriously cause collateral damage, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to go over here where I can still see my little platform and deploy a boss over here. So, meet Jigamo. This guy is, as you could imagine, part of what the Eldritch really was. A place taken over by tainted potatoes. And therefore, he is one of its leaders. As you can imagine, there's also some custom sound files. Now, this I'll show you just how much power it has later. In a second. Ouch, dude, that hurt. This is something you can get in the, noted in the upcoming chapter. Long death. Yeah, long death. Despite the fact I just got one item, you will get this, and it is part of very particular recipes. And, since I defeated him, I'll put that over there. But if he actually hits you, he will wither you. So, I'm saying right now, he's not a slouch. He's fast, and whenever he hits you, may not deal much initial darn lips, may not deal much initial damage, but he will, in fact, wither you. Now, here comes the second boss, the one that,
I have potato blood in my veins.
I'm wondering how he got that sound clip.
I have potato blood in my veins.
Either way, it is interesting. Now, this one, Zemniak, as you can imagine, acts a bit like a wither.
I have potato blood in my veins.
And he will cause collateral damage.
I
He will
have
cause a lot
potato
of
blood
collateral.
in my veins.
He's the one I was worried about. And I did notice before he had these green particles on. Man, I tested this before, I didn't see that.
In my veins.
Okay, time to just...
My life, it's potato.
My life, it's potato. In your,
It takes a
working
3-shot
life,
with the best
your,
weapon in the mod.
living, it's always
You hit... This thing has a charge up attack.
of potatoes.
Is there any experience from these guys? If there is, I'm not experiencing the experience right now. Oh well. Well, anyhow, you need these two items to get to the next thing. You need the Heart of Eldridge. So you need the Flesh of Eldridge from Jagamo and the Blood of Eldridge from Zemniak, who was that second guy who was one of the Eldridge leaders. A potato squid of doom that shot exploding potatoes, as you saw. And you need this to create a few very special items, including the Volume 3 of the Potatonomicon, which also needs a Blaze Rod, Heart of Eldridge, book, and the potato bag. So yes, you'll have to sacrifice part of your potential storage just to make this thing. But it's good, because it tells you some of the other cool stuff in the mod. Now, there's also something very special in the last chapter, and that's the final boss. You'll need to craft this, the Potato. Yes, Potato. That's definitely something to do. Now, let me see here. I won't be needing Volume 2 anymore, because I have Volume 3. Yeah, Volume 3. But anyhow, as I was going on about, I have the third volume, and that's something that normally you'd get by defeating the bosses and putting their stuff together. So yes, you can see it's kind of important, but you can also see it doesn't add too much more content after that, because there's just a few things, but they are good things. Now, as a special note, there is a music disc in this mod. It has a bit of a custom song to it, and normally speaking, you would actually trade, one of those villagers to get this. And the thing is that, well, it has to deal with kind of getting close to the end, so it will kind of lead on. So I'm going to have to show what this is that finishes this off. But the thing is, this is just a nice little music disc, but it's not just a nice little music disc. It's one of those things where normally you think of a music disc just as kind of a audio decoration. But in this case, it's special. And first of all, again, as I was indicating, you have to trade them something very, very special. I'll get to that in a moment. But it also has usage. For one thing, you can get that item back. And another, that's how you get these immensely powerful shears that I was just using. But there's another item in the path. And that is this, the Staff of Potatomancy. The Staff of Potatomancy is this awesome little thing. Now, it actually has 3 different kinds of ammunition. What you do is you surround the proper potato, and you use it to surround an iron ingot, So, for example, a reinforced potato here is potato surrounding an iron ingot, and you get 8. So you get the number of potatoes back. Now, the thing about it is this is basically a projectile weapon. You can spam shot with it very quickly, like very fast. You can also hold the button for auto fire, and it seems that your ammunition sticks around almost like what happens whenever you miss with a bow. Usually only whenever you hit it actually gets used up. So that's something you can actually retrieve it. So think about that. Now, the regular reinforced potato is just damage. The reinforced baked potato over here sets things on fire, but the reinforced poisonous potato is the most interesting thing in my opinion, because it allows you a ranged poison attack, which would be very handy if you were, if you were trying to get a regular record from a creeper, because having them poisoned down is a great way to let them get finished off. I'm sorry, pig, but I'd like to demonstrate the poison. See? He is poisoned. And I'll put him out of his misery. There you go. Sorry, pig. I apologize. It kind of just had to happen, and there wasn't a another convenient mob in my way that I really needed to shoot. Sorry. And as you can see, this is part of the recipe for the P-alloy tactical shears, which is the really supercharged weapon. Now, this thing acts two ways. Well, actually three. It can act as an unlimited durability version of a sword and shears. You can snip with it quickly. You can charge it up for a super blow, and that's what I was using to kill the bosses quickly. But it has yet another function, and this is where things get interesting. And in modern most Minecraft here, well, as of this time with 1.12, there's an interesting little concern. It's called the spawn eggs now are separated by their individual entity all the way down to things like wither skeletons. So, you know how you're usually spending your time in the nether looking for wither skeletons to get their skulls so you can fight the wither? Well, this will make it so much more convenient. Anything with a choppable head can have it sheared off instantly by using the full power attack. If you hit it directly, it's gotta be within a certain range, or in your crosshairs at least. See, did I get two? No, I got one. Is there one? I hit him so hard it ghosted. Oh wait, I gotta shear some stuff, just making sure. And I think you can shear sheep with it if you're very gentle. If you hold a button, you slaughter the sheep. So, yeah. Okay, here's a good spot to demonstrate the shear properties of this. So, as I said, it's unlimited durability shears. So I just picked up a little grass. No big deal. And I can shear sheep as long as I don't hold the button. So I hold the button, then I kill the sheep really fast. So obviously we don't want that. I'll give the sheep a little extra spot to walk on. So there we go. Yeah. Now, as I was saying, some of these last things take some very special ingredients, including for the P-alloy tactical shears, you need a music disc. As I said, the music disc. It has to be very specific, you can't substitute that. You also need the staff, some more of the alloy, 2 potato cleavers, and a frozen one. So that's a ridiculous amount of stuff when you remember all those previous crafting steps. But also remember this thing I mentioned before, the potato. This is where you fight the boss, like the last boss of this mod. Yes, there are 3 of them. Oh, I could throw this stuff away now. But yeah, as you can see, you can guarantee yourself a head, so that's useful. But the potato uses a couple of Thaumic potatoes, a regular potato, a couple eyes of ender, some potato alloy, and the heart of Eldridge that was made from the 2 previous bosses. So this literally has a tiered boss system. And now, this guy isn't quite as destructive as Zemniak, but I do want to get to another section in case he aggroes on anything and does anything flaming hot. I think this will be far enough. Now, this might provoke some interesting triggers. Yeah. I think he's going to be a lot less amusing when I actually fight him eventually. But this is a demonstration, so as such. Oh, you can see that he also regenerates. However, even holding down the attack, I don't think it's going to regenerate fast enough for me to... Well, this has good range as long as you have it directly in the crosshairs, which is nice to know. Oh, I tossed him down there. Chase scene. Why am I doing Batman?
I'm loving it.
Oh, he also breaks things like a wither. It was good that I decided
次
to...
やっちゃうんだ。みんなも一緒にやってみようよ。いくよ。ランランルー。
What is that even from? I should have thrown that away earlier just to make sure that I wasn't going to lose this item. Because that's how you get this broken Thaumanomicon. You can also read it back from if you trade it for the music disc. But it's important in its own very special way. But normally you would trade it to one of the potato enthusiasts for the music disc so you could assemble the awesome stuff like this thing. Oh gosh, that is just choppity chop chop chop. Let me see, this didn't use it. It's just use some carbonators and potato cleavers and a Thaumic Potato. The big thing that really uses the music disc is the shears. But as you can see, they hit like a truck. No, actually, they hit like mechanical... They hit like the jaws of life as a weapon. That's more like it. Hit like the jaws of life as a weapon. So, yeah. And that's not entirely it for this mod. There is one more thing that I need to note. And it's very, very special. If you use this book, it's something very unique. Something that I have only seen in a couple other mods, and know that at least in one mod there's going to be a bit more of it upcoming. But there's very few mods that give you an alternate ending to the game. Yeah, if you use this book, this Broken Thaumanomicon, you will have an alternate ending to the game. Now, I don't know if it's used up in survival when you actually use it, but there's good reason why in the lore of it it says use it in a safe shelter. It's not because it's dangerous, but it's because it doesn't pause the game when you do it, so stuff might still attack you. So, whenever you use this book, remember time will keep passing by while you're enjoying your alternate ending. And, of course, in Minecraft, you get to play after the ending usually, so there is that. But, again, I won't spoil the ending for Thaumic Potatoes 2, but it is a good one. I mean, I actually kind of like the story of the thaumaturge who wants to bring back the lost art while using the power of potatoes. So, I've actually really enjoyed how this mod turned out, and I know the author said that he wants to add more to it. So, I guess you could consider this, to a degree, a preview, but it could be a while before he adds more things. So remember that for now, this is just a very special review that I've done. And speaking of for now, I need to start heading off. So, this has been Glitch Reaper in potato-colored leather armor. And I will hopefully hear back from you all later. So, and I will be logging off. So, bye for now, everybody.